All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Fight Talk. Hey, actually, I didn't do too bad on that intro. Actually, I'm kind of impressed. Um, so yeah, welcome back. Hope y'all had a good week. I'm gonna. This better not be one of those episodes where I say all the time. I was just about to say it again too. So this weekend we have two things. I just said it again. Two things. One of them is completely unrelated to MMA. It's Super Bowl is this weekend. I want to, I'll just piece in on that now. The Eagles better kick the Chiefs' ass. I'm a Bills fan, so I'm praying that the Chiefs lose. But I don't mind the Lions either. That's another team I really like. That man, at least I could cheer for Washington. I can't cheer for either of these teams really. But I don't hate the Eagles, so I'll cheer for the Eagles. So I got my Saquon jersey on. Yeah, I already went on my way. I bought a jersey. I got my hat and everything. We're having a tailgate party at my place. It's gonna be fun. Eagles better beat the Chiefs' ass. Go Birds. I'm a huge Eagles fan for one night. And then we got potentially back to MMA. For those that don't live in the U.S. and have no idea what a field goal is. Or Canada. I guess I don't live. I guess I don't live in the U.S. either. I don't know what I'm talking about. But we have what could be the worst pay-per-view card of the year, and potentially by how shit it delivers, potentially the worst card of the year. Um, this card looks absolutely god awful. I'll be completely honest. I'm really not impressed. When I saw at 310 when they announced the main event, oh my god, I was so excited. I was so excited. Because I thought it was gonna be like a decent card with two title fights. But the two title fights cards haven't been that great recently. Um, except for obviously 311. I know you all probably just were shocked when I said that. But we got it's Dricus, Strickland, Whaley, Suarez, and those are the four ranked fighters on the entire card. If you even call champions ranked, which that would mean two. And the only like somewhat name value on the rest of the card is Wang Kong and Bruno Barrasso, which is a women's fight, which a lot of people don't care about. But if you're not a casual, like most people on the app, verdict, we're not casuals. Most of us should care about this fight. And then Colby Thickness and Alexandre Topuria, because that's probably the most hyped debutant versus debutant matchup ever. I can't really think of one that's really more hyped up. Feel free to quote me on it. But there's really not much name value other than that. I mean, obviously you have Justin Taffa, but when you have Justin Taffa fighting a guy of the fucking Contender Series in the feature bed of a pay-per-view in 2025, what the fuck are we doing? Okay? So yeah, I'll get right into the picks because actually I saw on the app we had a lot of questions. I'm actually really excited about it. So we got Quinlan Salkilled. I don't know how the fuck you say that, but I know he's off the Contender Series versus Anshul Jubli. So Anshul Jubli, he's the only, I believe, I could be getting this wrong. He's the only active UFC fighter from India, I believe. And what weight is this fight at? Lightweight, okay. Did he miss weight by that much, or am I just seeing that he's 170? So yeah. I liked Salkilled on the Contender Series. He was really good. Jubli didn't really impress me. Obviously he had that one fight. I forget how long ago it was. He's been out for a year, and now he's come back. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna pick Quinlan Salkilled by a decision. I don't know how the fuck I say his last name. I'm gonna pick him by a decision. I know he looked good in the Contender Series, but I believe this will just go to a decision. No further explanation required. This card is shit. Moving on. Also, another fight got canceled between that guy that I can't pronounce his name from the Macau card and another Chinese fighter. So, oh shit, just whacked the mic. So yeah, if this card couldn't get any worse, another fight got canceled. Next up, we got Jonathan McAuliffe. I don't know how the fuck to say his name. Versus Kevin Jusset. Whoever this McAuliffe fucking guy is, people don't seem to really like him. And honestly, I'm just gonna pick Kevin Jusset to win a decision because he's the only person one of the only people I know on this card. I know he had a submission, I think it was way back. But he had the decision over Song Kanon. I believe. What the fuck? The stats are completely wrong on the website. They're saying Kevin Jusset's on a 5-fight win streak. That's absolute bullshit. Everyone remembers his last fight. You can't expect the Butcher to lose in a fist fight with a French dude. But yeah, Kevin Jusset, he'll win a decision. Then we got Rong Zhu. I forget. I know this guy fought so. Oh yeah. Chris Padilla and Bahamondes. That's how I knew he fought. So he's fighting. Rong Zhu's fighting Cody Steele. Cody Steele. I believe he's coming off the Contender Series too. Honestly, I don't got much to say about either of these guys. I'm just gonna say Cody Steele wins a decision. I'm not gonna lie. I think this card's gonna be very decision heavy. I don't think there will be many KOs. This is a really, really bad card. Man, it's so bad. Moving on. Finally, because I'm actually really excited to see this. We got Colby Thickness versus Alexandre Topuria. I don't know if it's Alexandre. Fucking Topuria's brother. Okay. Fuck. Hold on. I got it. Boys are texting me. Yo, wait a minute. I'm recording my shit. Alright, so. Colby Thickness. This is a crazy matchup because what's it called? Why am I blanking on it? Fucking Colby is, I don't know if it's training partner, student of Volk. But he trains with Volk. Okay, and you guys know me. If you listen by this point, I love Volk. And I think he's Volk's main sparring partner. But Alexandre Topuria is the brother of Ilya Topuria. Okay? Now, my thing with his record, if anyone's seen his record, and I'll pull it up on Tapology real quick, just for my reference. But yeah, sorry, you guys are. I'm not going through that effort yet. Basically, his last fight was in May of 2023. He hasn't fought since. Which, you know what, he could have improved a lot. I will give him credit. I do think he probably has improved a lot. But he has a record of 5-1 with, oh shit, whack the mic again. Jesus, so close to my face. So he has, his opponent's records are like a combined like 29-72. Because like one of his opponents, obviously his wins are over people who are like 1-1, 0-0. Then I'm seeing a fucking red flag here, big red flag. Motherfucker over here has 7 wins, 18 losses, and 1 draw. What? And we're trying, and we're not, oh, sorry. Let me correct myself. At the time, 7-28. Now he's 7-29. He hasn't won since. Yeah, so he's really, really got a padded record. Like, and then, yeah, this guy's 1-11, 3-2. really just, oh god, it's so horrible. His record is really bad, but who he's lost to is, I need to check. Is the guy he lost to is like 4-0. So I'm really confused with this. I'm not 100% sure who I'm going to pick, but I'm going to say that, oh man, do I do the it's so tough to predict. It's so tough. I don't know. I've been going back and forth on this all week. I'll say Taporia wins a decision. I'm gonna say it. This is bold. He wins a decision. He does not win a KO. I don't think he wins a KO. Unless Colby gets fucking chinned. Which, you know what? I don't know much about him. So he definitely could get chinned. I don't think he'll chin him. I think he'll win a very close decision. I think this will be a good fight back and forth. Then we got women's flyweight. Why did I call it women's flyweight? That's weird. We got Wang Kong versus Bruna Brasil. In my opinion, probably the third best fight on this card. I'm not gonna lie, because at least there'll be some action. And I'm not gonna lie. Wang Kong is a huge favorite, and Taporia shouldn't be a huge favorite either on the last one. These are the same odds. Wang Kong is a huge favorite. Did just everyone forget what happened? Everyone forget what just happened in her last fight? Fucking got submitted out cold. I don't give a shit that she won her first fight. I don't care that she has a win over Valentina in kickboxing. I don't care. All right? Bruna Brasil is a member of the Fighting Nerds, and I get Mayra Bueno Silva technically is a member of the Fighting Nerds. But Bruna Brasil, her last UFC loss was beginning of last year, so basically a year out. And she's been looking real good. I'm going to pick Bruna Brasil to win a decision. This is a big underdog pick, and if you want to put some money on this card, put some money on Bruna Brasil. I think that she's got some major potential to make money here, because I think she's going to win. I think she's going to win pretty confidently. Next up, man, they are not giving these Australians favorable matchups. We got Tom Nolan versus, Vyacheslav Boshev there. That's my best way I could say it. So Tom Nolan had his last fight on 305 against Dominic Reyes' brother, the fucking can who gets KO'd in every fight. He brought him to a decision. And it's not like he isn't fucking 0-2 in the UFC before that. He's a bit of a can. And we have Borshev, who's also a bit of a can. He fought Chase Hooper not that long ago. I think it was a St. Louis card. And then he fought James Law on top as well in a split decision. That fight was surprisingly close. And then he had that draw, and then and he's fought people like Mark Diakies. Like, he's all right. He's a mixed bag. He's got 8-4 record. If you don't know who Borshev is, but he does get knockouts. And I'm gonna say he KOs Tom Nolan. I will actually say I think this is one of the very few finishes. He's gonna KO him, and I'm gonna say the second. I don't love picking first round KOs. I don't love picking thirds. Just safe bet. Go with the second. Middle of the fight. Whatever. And now moving on to the prelim headliner. Jesus. Oh man. Jack Jenkins with the pound for pound best hair in the UFC currently versus Gabriel Santos. Jack Jenkins, I actually bit of a fan of this guy. He had his last fight on 305 too. Fought Gilbert Burns' brother. I picked against him. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I could get a huge underdog pick. Because this guy really isn't that great. But I just like his hair. But he's got a few finishes. He has a real good kick. And Gabriel Santos, he had last fight against Zaw. I don't know who the fuck that is. But he's lost to like Lerone Murphy, David Onama. Like, he's losing to decent high level competition. So I'm gonna say this fight, I'm gonna say Gabriel Santos wins a decision. I don't think Jenkins will get KO'd, although he definitely has a potential to get subbed KO'd. But I think he'll be able to survive. Take him to a decision. Excuse me, just had to have some water. But yeah, I think he'll be able to survive. And here we go on to the main card. Now, all of these fights, you will realize no difference in quality of these fights from the prelims to the main card. Nothing. It'll just be like snap the fingers. Oh, we're co-main event. Oh, Zhang Weili. Oh shit. So we got Jake Matthews versus Francisco. Yeah, Francisco Prado. So Jake Matthews, he had that win over Phil Rowe at 302. Good win, but he's also a victim of Michael Morales. And Semmelsberger too, who's out of the UFC now. Sean Brady. This guy's lost to like everyone who's really like elite, I guess you could say. And then we got Francisco. Yeah, I'm gonna guess Francisco Prado. Had his last fight, lost to Daniel Zellweger, and also lost to fucking Ottoman. He beat Ottoman, the guy that Michael Johnson just fought. And lost to Jamie Malarkey as well, which Jamie Malarkey is the same guy that got fucked by Mauricio Ruffi. But if you also didn't know, Jamie Malarkey is, if I'm not wrong, I could be an absolute idiot. Don't get me wrong here. Believe he's an Aussie. So we're going to say Aussie power strikes here. And Jake Matthews is going to somehow KO him in the second round. I know that's a very strong pick. Considering this guy hasn't been KO'd in the UFC. However, I'm going to say that for some reason, the Aussie power of Jake Matthews hits different. So we're going to go with Jake Matthews to win by KO in the second, just for shits and giggles. Why not? And then we have next fight. I swear this guy was retired. We got Jimmy Crute versus Rodolfo Bellato. Am I not like an idiot? Did he not lose to Alonzo Menefield and then retire? Like, am I not blanking on this? He just decides to come back and he's like, yeah, sure. This guy's got good hair too. So he's lost to a lot of people recently. He's on a huge loss streak. He had that draw. I think his last win was like Modestas Bukauskas, I think, which is all the way back in like fucking 2020. And since then he's lost to like Anthony Smith, Jamal Hill, Alonzo Menefield even, who's barely in the rankings anymore, and in my opinion shouldn't be. And then we got Rodolfo Bellato over here, whose last win's coming over Ihor Potieria, who also got cut. This is only fighting the UFC. He hasn't fought in a year. But I gotta say, like, this guy's gonna fucking KO Jimmy Crute. He's gonna KO Jimmy Crute. I'm gonna say it's the first round. Jimmy Crute's been out forever. He's a fucking old head. Please retire again. You shouldn't be competing at this age, especially since when you've already retired. Yeah, I think Rodolfo's gonna fucking piece him up. And next up, God, I hate this as the featured fight. We got heavyweight. We got Justin Tafa versus Taliesin Teixeira. I forget what this was booked for before. I think Teixeira was booked against someone else on 310 and it got canceled. I want to say it was Bukauskas. I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But the Tafa brothers in the fucking feature bed of a pay-per-view? You gotta remember, Justin Tafa has more main card pay-per-view appearances than fucking Ilia Topuria. What the fuck? So, Justin Tafa, his last fight, he lost to Carl Williams, I think. It was a while ago. I think it was March-ish. He's been out since then. He's had a win over Austin Lane, I think. Parker Porter. And just been getting wins over Cans. And they're both really shit. They both kind of suck. I'll be completely honest. So this fat fuck that missed the heavyweight limit, Justin Tafa, he's going up against someone on the Contender Series, and I won't lie, this guy's so mid, I don't even know if I can pick him. Taliesin Teixeira coming off the Contender Series. I think I'm actually going to have to pick him to win by a KO in the second round. I'm going to say Taliesin Teixeira KOs Justin Tafa in the second round. I can't believe I'm going to say that, but I am. Yeah, that's about it. And here we are randomly. Hey, co-main event. Zhang Weili, Tatiana Suarez. What are you guys doing here? So yeah, co-main event. We got Zhang Weili versus Tatiana Suarez. And Zhang Weili, really good fighter. She's amazing. She's been out for a bit though. Like I didn't expect Zhang Weili to just be the champion that fights once a year. So fucking Tatiana Suarez coming up. She's undefeated. And I won't lie, her wins, they've been pretty good, but she's also been out for a while. A lot of time to cook in the oven. And I don't think Zhang Weili is going to hang around for much longer. And this is why I'm saying I think Tatiana Suarez is going to win a decision. I actually think Tatiana Suarez will win a decision, and I think she'll be the new champion. I don't think Zhang Weili... Jesus Christ. I sound like Joe Rogan pronouncing Nurmagomedov. I don't think Zhang Weili is going to stick around for that long. So I think Tatiana Suarez is going to win a decision. She'll use effective grappling. Weili will probably win on the striking. I think this is going to be grappling from Suarez. And probably win a decision. I'm just going to have a drink again. Oh, excuse me. Okay. And now, main event. We got Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. The rematch. Sean Strickland rocking the fucking pedo stash. I don't know what the fuck he's on there, but all right. So Dricus, he's obviously coming off that win over Izzy. Submitted him. Now that we've seen what happened to Izzy a week later, and the tears have been shed, I did not expect it to hit that hard. I really didn't. I didn't actually cry. Don't worry, guys. Maybe a little for the last dog bender. But Dricus, he's been doing amazing lately, and I honestly think he's probably the most underrated champion right now. I picked him to beat Strickland last time, but after watching that fight, it was a real... I gotta say, rewatching that fight back, I think I had Strickland 48-47. Really close. Yet again, on another day, like when I first watched the fight, I thought Dricus won. I still bounce back and forth between who won that fight. Sean Strickland, he's coming off that win over Paulo Costa. I hate that is recorded as a split decision. That could go down in history as the most one-sided fight that was a split decision. Because somehow one judge... It wasn't even 48-47 Costa. It was 49-46 Costa. How the fuck do you score 4 rounds for the other person? But Dricus has done real good lately. Sean looked great in the Costa fight, and people always underestimate him. And he's the underdog now for some reason. And honestly, I would see people favoring him. I get that Dricus subbed Izzy, but Strickland beat the brakes off him for 25 minutes. But the second time around, I gotta say, I'm picking Dricus by a decision. I can't really pick against my boy. I did on 305. That's generally because I thought Contender Izzy was a real thing. I gave up on him after that, but still picked Izzy against Imavov. I learned from my mistake there, but I know I'm a dumbass because I recognize that I can never pick against Dricus because every time I picked against him, I've lost. And every time I picked on him, I won big, like last time. Undefeated in the UFC, I'm going to say Dricus retains the belt. I'm going to say he wins by unanimous decision. Don't get me wrong. Sean could definitely pull up the upset, though. So let's get my Q&A for this episode. I'm actually really excited. We got a lot of Q&A. This week. So we got, I'm gonna make sure I have all of them. Don't be an idiot, don't be an idiot, don't be an idiot. Where is it? There we go. Begging verdict, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Um, do you think Tatiana Suarez is on the same level as Zhang? And if you do, um, and if so, do you see her winning the fight? I do think she's on the same level, and I do think she will win the fight. Now, granted, they're in different areas. Zhang Weili, I think, has better striking. She's shown that, and her grappling's not awful. She technically sub Yan Jianan at 300. But I think Tatiana Suarez, people are kind of underestimating her because she's been out for a while. I think she's gonna win. How do you think Strickland and DDP adjusted to the first fight? What do you believe are their keys to victory? Keys to victory for Dreykus is I think Dreykus is actually going to grapple a bit. I think he's going to try and wrestle fuck him because he's a little gay. I guess everyone's a little gay for their homies at some point. Even Sean probably admits that. I bet I sounded weird as fuck saying that. I think Dreykus is going to use his grappling a lot more. We saw it a bit in the first fight. And Sean's going to try and keep it on the feet. He's going to try and keep pressure. But Dreykus is going to be probably pushing back with pressure. I don't think it'll be a finish. But I think they definitely will have adjusted to both their own styles. And it's not like Sean's wrestling is horrible. It's just that Dreykus does have really underrated wrestling as well. What is your sleeper fight of the card that will be a guaranteed banger? I gotta say, it's a women's fight. It's gotta be Wang Kong, Bruna Brasil. Or Colby Thickness, Alexandre Topuria. I think that'll be good too. Those two are the only other two cards on the fight, or fights on the card that I like. I don't like much of the other ones. But yeah, that's that. Okay, so Hook's questions out of the way. Then we got Max Holloway fans. Who do you think the winner of this fight should fight after? Now, from a deserved standpoint, so yeah, you're saying should. It should be Imavov. I've called Imavov the fake contender for a while. But looking at it, he's kind of the real deal now. Like, realistically, there was 2 rounds left in that Cannonier fight. I guess I forget if it was round 3 or round 4. And that's mainly why I was calling him the fake contender. But after that, I gotta say, I really give credit to him. And it should be Imavov. But knowing the UFC and knowing Dana and knowing that he literally said this himself, it's going to be Khamzat. It's going to be Khamzat. Khamzat's the bigger name. Everyone loves Dagestanis, and they're going to fucking try and sell the shit out of that pay-per-view. It'll probably be in Abu Dhabi, too. With a spectacular KO like that, do you feel Shamil, the Meal Gaziev, jumps over John Jones and is next in line to fight Tom Aspinall for the undisputed heavyweight strap? 100%. 100%, I believe. Shamil Gaziev, I actually think he could be double champ. I think he could be super heavyweight champion. I think he'd be 2-division champion. Strip John. Actually, strip Tom. Just give it to Shamil. Muhammad Naimov looked good. We'll probably get a ranked opponent. Barboza. See, but I don't know if Barboza's going to stay ranked for much longer because he's fighting Garcia. And I think Garcia's going to beat him. We will finally get Nurmagomedov versus Oliveira. Wrong ones, though. Oh, yeah. If Khabib didn't run after 3 title defenses, who would have won between him and Charles? I hate to say, probably Khabib. Probably Khabib. I would have cheered for Charles. And don't get me wrong, Charles would have standed a great chance. I'm talking like prime Tony. But probably Khabib, knowing the Dagestani plot armor. What the fuck is up with Bryce Mitchell? He released a statement. This is obviously a week later. What the fuck happened to Bryce Mitchell? Brother turned into Kanye West. What if that's like me coming on here and saying that? It's on his podcast. It's like I'm over here saying, you know what? Based upon my own research, Hitler wasn't that bad of a dude. Like what the fuck? Like who says that? Don't clip that. Biggie Boy released, and yet Tai Tuivasa is still ranked. It's absolutely awful. How the fuck did they release Biggie Boy? Like, I thought it was that he wanted to be released, but I think they actually cut him based on his statement. And I think that's stupid. If by that logic, cut Tai Tuivasa, cut fucking Dontel Mays, who also somehow got ranked. And And it looks like our Canadian lady, Jasmine Jasudavicius, is ready for some next stepper up like Rose or Andrade. I think Rose. I think she should fight Rose. Imavov next in line for the strap or Hamzat? I think it should be Imavov, but it's going to be Hamzat. Like, I think it's going to be Hamzat because the UFC is really promising him that. How different do you think Sean's game plan is for this fight, or do you think it's still going to be jab teep? I think it's still going to be jab teep. Like, that's what I mean by applying the pressure. I think it's still going to be jab teep. It'll still be the same. That's a distance tool and not a game plan to me. Does Sean shoot and rake down? I'm going to assume that you meant takedown. Dickless. I think Dreykus tries to shoot and take down Sean. I don't think Sean tries to take him down. But also, I'm going to mention this. I hate that Jairzinho got cut. Why? While I've got the little bit of time left, why did they cut Biggie Boy, man? And I have a theory. Now, this is a really bad theory, I guess, because it probably makes zero sense. I think they're doing this to hype up Shamil Gaziev. This is my theory. I really think they're doing this to hype up Shamil Gaziev. Because Shamil Gaziev is now ranked number 11. Over, I mean, I guess all the people below him don't have a ranked win. And, I mean, I guess technically Tai Tuivasa still has a ranked win. Derek Lewis, not recent. But I really think they're doing this to hype up Shamil Gaziev. Because that's his only loss in the UFC. And then they just shot him up in the rankings after he got a KO. And then also removed De Lima from the rankings, which, you know, he hasn't fought in a year. That kind of makes sense. But cutting Biggie Boy was the wrong move. And then the people that got in to the heavyweight rankings, I disagree with heavily. Especially Dontel Mays. Why is he ranked? Dontel Mays is a fucking can. Like, he is the definition of a heavyweight can. Like, he sucks. He's 11-7, and he's coming off a loss to Shamil the Blob Gaziev, so that's another ranked win for Shamil Gaziev, not to mention. But his only wins are over, like, Caio Machado, and he's lost to Rodrigo Nascimento twice, who isn't even in the UFC anymore. That's another unworthy cut, which, granted, I don't think Nascimento should have been ranked anyways. But May shouldn't be ranked. Denise shouldn't be ranked. He's coming off a loss to Tybura. Really, what I think should have happened is keep Rosenstrike in. I don't give a shit that that was a boring fight. He broke his foot. And put Kennedy Nishioku in the rankings. Like, he's looked really good at heavyweight. He's looked really good. I don't understand why he couldn't just nab up the number 15 spot, at least. But no. We'll put Dontel Mays at the 14 so that we can hype up Shamil Gaziev and say that he has a ranked win. Oh my god. I can't get over. Like, I really think they're just trying to hype up Shamil Gaziev. And I hate it. I really hate it. Like, this guy's a fucking blob. He's a blob. He's so huge. His fucking belly jiggles when he walks. He probably walked out of the cage that night and was like, man, I could do with another burger. Oh, do you got the meal deal with that? I walked over to fucking Taco Bell. In Saudi Arabia. I don't know if they have Taco Bell or Saudi Arabia. I've actually heard that they do. A guy in my gym, he's from like that area. I guess it's not Saudi Arabia, but he was talking about how in school kids would try and sneak out and get Taco Bell. So they had teachers at break like guard the fences like fucking prison guards. And watch for kids trying to sneak out and get Taco Bell, which was right across the street. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm sorry for my Shamil Gaziev rant. Yeah, thank you guys for listening again. Really appreciate it. And for this weekend, what was I gonna say? For this weekend, go Birds. For any Americans or Canadians or anyone that actually likes football watching out there. And yeah, thanks guys. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.